Welcome to our in-depth exploration of one of the biggest financial frauds in history. Today we delve into the life and crimes of Bornie Madolf, whose Ponzi scheme shocked the world and left thousands of investors in ruins. But who was Bornie Madolf? And how did he manage to deceive so many for so long? Let's unravel this complex story, starting from the very beginning. But before we dive on, welcome to the True Crime series. If you are watching for the very first time on this channel, kindly click on that subscriber button and turn on your notification so when we post new true crime series you can get notified. Thank you. Bernard Lawrence Madoff was born on April 29, 1938 in Queens, New York. Growing up in a middle-class Jewish family, Madoff's early life was marked by his father's fluctuating business ventures and financial struggles. This instability may have influenced his later drive for success and financial security. After attending the University of Alabama for a year, Madoff transferred to Hofstra University, where he earned a degree in political science in 1960. During his college years, he met and married Ruth Alpern, who would become a steadfast partner in both his personal life and business endeavors. In 1960, with just $5,000 saved from various summer jobs, Madoff founded Bernard L. Madoff Investment Securities, LLC. Initially, the firm operated as a penny stock brokerage, but Madoff's innovative use of technology and trading strategies soon set his firm apart from the competition. Madoff's firm quickly gained a reputation for using sophisticated technology and innovative trading strategies. He was one of the early adopters of computer technology in trading, which gave his firm a significant edge. By the 1970s, Madoff had become an influential figure on Wall Street, even helping to develop the Nasdaq stock market and serving as its non-executive chairman. The firm's success continued to grow, attracting a wide range of clients, from individual investors to large financial institutions. Madoff's reputation for reliability and consistent returns made his investment advisory business particularly attractive. Investors were drawn to the promise of steady, predictable profits, which Madoff delivered year after year, further cementing his reputation as a financial genius. While Madoff's legitimate trading operations thrived, his investment advisory business was a facade for a massive Ponzi scheme. A Ponzi scheme involves paying returns to earlier investors using the capital from newer investors, rather than from profit earned by the operation of a legitimate business. Madoff's scheme was elaborate and meticulously crafted to avoid detection. He claimed to use a split-strike conversion strategy, which involved buying a basket of stocks intended to mirror the performance of the S&P 100, along with options to hedge against market downturns. However, no such trades were actually executed. Instead, Madoff fabricated account statements and transaction records to show consistent returns. The scheme's success relied heavily on feeder funds, intermediaries that pooled money from numerous investors and funneled it to Madoff. These feeder funds, managed by reputable financial professionals, lent an air of legitimacy to Madoff's operations and helped attract a steady stream of new capital. Madoff's personal charm and impeccable reputation were also crucial in maintaining the illusion. The financial crisis of 2008 put unprecedented strain on Madoff's scheme. As markets plummeted, investors scrambled to withdraw their funds to cover losses elsewhere. The surge in redemption requests overwhelmed Madoff's ability to bring in new capital to pay out the promised returns. On December 10, 2008, Madoff confessed to his sons, Mark and Andrew, that the investment advisory business was a fraud and that he was finished. His sons, who were both executives at the firm but claimed to be unaware of the fraud, reported him to federal authorities the following day. Madoff was arrested on December 11, 2008, and charged with securities fraud. The revelation of Madoff's scheme sent shockwaves through the financial community and beyond. The legal proceedings against Madoff were swift and decisive. Thousands of investors, including individuals, charities, and institutional investors, faced devastating losses. The total amount of money involved in the scheme was estimated to be around $65 billion, although the actual losses were closer to $18 billion. Madoff waived his right to a trial and pleaded guilty to 11 federal felonies, including securities fraud, investment advisor fraud, and money laundering. On June 29, 2009, he was sentenced to 150 years in prison, the maximum allowed, by Judge Denny Chin. In his sentencing, Judge Chin described Madoff's crimes as extraordinarily evil. Madoff's victims ranged from wealthy individuals and celebrities to retirees who had invested their life savings with him. The fallout was immense, with many losing their homes, their savings, and their trust in the financial system. In the wake of the scandal, efforts to recover funds for Madoff's victims began immediately. Irving Picard was appointed as the trustee to oversee the liquidation of Madoff's firm and the recovery of assets. Picard and his team worked tirelessly to trace and reclaim money from feeder funds, banks, and other entities that had profited from Madoff's scheme. Picard's efforts were met with significant legal battles, but over the years the trustee managed to recover billions of dollars. As of 2020, Picard had recovered over $14 billion, which was redistributed to the victims. While this did not cover the total losses, it represented a substantial recovery in the context of financial fraud cases. The Madoff scandal had profound implications for the financial industry and regulatory frameworks. It exposed significant weaknesses in the oversight and regulation of investment advisors and hedge funds. The Securities and Exchange Commission faced intense criticism for failing to detect the fraud, despite numerous red flags and warnings from whistleblowers, most notably financial analyst Harry Markopolos. In response, regulatory bodies implemented stricter rules and more rigorous enforcement to prevent similar frauds in the future. The Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act, enacted in 2010, included provisions to enhance financial regulation and consumer protection. These changes aimed to increase transparency, accountability, and investor protection in the financial markets. Madoff's personal life was deeply affected by the scandal. His wife, Ruth Madoff, was shunned by many and faced legal and financial repercussions. Their two sons, Mark and Andrew, both suffered greatly. Mark Madoff tragically took his own life in 2010, unable to cope with the shame and pressure. Andrew Madoff died of cancer in 2014. Bornie Madolf spent the remainder of his life in prison, where he reportedly expressed remorse for his actions. He died on April 14, 2021, at the age of 82, from chronic kidney disease. Despite his downfall, Madoff's story continues to captivate and serve as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the devastating consequences of financial fraud. The Madoff scandal serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities within the financial system and the importance of due diligence and regulatory oversight. It also highlights the psychological aspects of financial fraud, where trust and reputation can be manipulated to deceive even the most savvy investors. Investors learn to be more cautious and skeptical, scrutinizing investment opportunities more thoroughly. The financial community became more aware of the need for transparency and accountability, both from investment managers and regulatory bodies. The scandal also spurred advancements in forensic accounting and financial regulation, aimed at preventing similar frauds in the future. The story of Bornie Madolf is a cautionary tale of greed, deception, and the catastrophic consequences of unchecked ambition. While his Ponzi scheme caused immense suffering, it also led to significant changes in the financial industry, aimed at protecting investors and maintaining the integrity of the markets. Madoff's legacy is a complex one, marked by his contributions to financial innovation and his monumental fall from grace. His story will continue to be studied and remembered as a pivotal moment in the history of financial fraud, serving as a reminder of the need for vigilance, honesty, and ethical conduct in the world of finance. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the life and crimes of Bornie Madolf. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth stories and analyses. And remember, always do your due diligence when it comes to investments. Stay informed and stay safe.